We got shit to talk about. Let's do the thing. Hey, Warrior Shrine. We're rolling. It's here. You guys are listening to it. We got lots of shit to talk about. There's so much shit. We have not had an episode of this show without lots of crazy shit to talk about. Because this is our second one since the game's been out. That's it. And the first one was like, we got lots of time. We have a whole game to talk about. Like, this is our first one. And this one we've got 2 DLC characters to talk about. As well as just, you know, the way the game is moving and what it's seeming like and all this other shit that's going on with it. Temp's there. What's up, Temp?
What's up?
And it's just us. What are we tackling first, Temp?
Oh, God. I was going to slip in my quick Tekken 7 review before we went full Red Hood.
Do it. Go.
Tekken 7 is both really good and extremely disappointing at the same time, but I'm having a blast playing it. And I'm probably playing that more than I'm playing Injustice 2 right now. But I don't know if I'd recommend it just because, I don't know, there's no frame data, which really frustrates me. A game in 2017 not having frame data, that kind of sucks. And there's no tutorial mode, which honestly is fine for people like you and me. We know how to navigate like content from the FGC. It's not fine for like, you know, Jonathan McScrub, who has no idea how to go about Tekken, so I think that's kind of messed up.
No, yeah, Harade does not give two shits about Jonathan McScrub, it seems.
Not even a little bit. I
can't believe there's no frame data in the game or, like, any of that sort of thing?
If there is, I haven't found it. That's why I'm not like...
I know historically that they've not been about that, but I thought that would be a different thing now. But no, I mean,
exactly.
Roddy's sticking to his guns, man.
I thought the pressure would make them cave, and maybe it's in there and I just haven't found it. If that's the case, guys, blow me up in the comments, but that's in a game like Tekken where you need to know what's safe or not, you need to know what your frame traps are, that's really fucking disappointing. So, and also the third problem I have with the game, I'll go into the good stuff in a second. My third problem is this game came out in 2015. So a lot of the problems I'm a little more bothered by, I guess. Kind of sucks that Lei Wulong's not in it, but that's okay. I just wish they had told me the roster was final when we saw I think Eddie was the last character they revealed. I wish they had just said the final character reveal, so I would not have been waiting for Lei Wulong all the way till January 2nd. I think that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. I
should have known better because people were playing the game from mom and pop stores before then, but that was a bummer. I was pretty confident Lei Wulong made it in, so I'm maining Lars right now. But I don't really
I'll teach you to be confident in anything.
Yeah, there's this long pattern.
Fighting games love preying on that.
Shit. Yeah, I got a streak going here of just being wrong. Sucks.
Stop hoping for the best, man. It'll get you into trouble.
I hope he's DLC, because I really like Lei Wulong. This game was going to be my Tekken game that got me good at Tekken, which was supposed to be the last Tekken game that was supposed to get me good at Tekken, which was Tekken Tag 2 Tournament 2. Yeah. This game, I've had a lot more progress than I did in that game. I'm doing a lot better, but I'm still not confident to go online yet. I still have a lot to learn, but at least I know what my safe footsie tools are. I know what my homing moves are, so if someone tries to sidestep my shit, I have an answer for that. I know what my best whiff punishers are, and I'm doing relatively decent damage. My combo damage is somewhere between 55 and 60 damage points, so I'm not doing too bad on that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and just the game spawn, I really do like the game. I'm learning Lars, Asuka, and I'm trying Paul Phoenix, but it's not going so hot. I may have to put
Paul.
Oh yeah, I actually like Paul quite a bit. He's tight. He's fucking hilarious. I love him. I used to hate that character.
Hilarious. All right, I can get on board with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like when I was a kid and I would see Tekken 3 in arcades, I'd be like, man, this character looks so fucking stupid. But now I get it. Like that's the point. Now I love the character. So
no, he's supposed to look fucking stupid. I get it.
Oh man, so he's a lot of fun. But Asuka and Lars have been fantastic. Like I said, I hope Lei Wulong's DLC, but the game just feels good. Everyone knows I love neutral game. Everyone knows I love footsies, and Tekken to me is just take like a 2D fighter and strip away all the bullshit. Take out all the gimmicks. Put in new gimmicks, of course, but get rid of all the zoning. get rid of all the crazy like outside of mid-range mix-ups and just fucking punch people. There's a purity to the neutral game I really like. So Tekken 7's a blast right now.
If you don't like zoning, you must be loving Injustice. It must be just like, it must be great. No, that's like the first thing I noticed when I'm watching all these streams of people playing Tekken. It's like, look at this thing that none of these people have to worry about. Like, there's plenty of other things to worry about in Tekken, but it's like, at least it's not the same problem. That's nice to, that's what looks inviting. It's definitely not naked Akuma that looks inviting.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you brought that up, but go on, I'll let you finish. That's a good point.
No, I mean, that's like, especially just because Tekken is parked so close to Injustice right now, like, it just looks so good to see characters in each other's face instead of, you know, like a quarter mile away from each other all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's very volatile, you know, there's so much that can happen once you get within that, I don't want to say jump distance because jumps don't really work that way, but, you know, the uppercut distance, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just very volatile. Until you play fucking Akuma, then you have to deal with all this bullshit that no other character has to deal with. Yeah, I hate Akuma. If I want to play, I've played Akuma in like every Street Fighter game since the 90s. And that includes like I played him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3. I used one of my backup characters in both of those games. So why people want to play him in Tekken, I don't know. I think that's dumb. I don't think he's broken. I just think he's stupid and really not fun to fight against. But go on, yes.
No, I'm just one of those people you're referring to. I want Akuma everywhere. I want Akuma in every fighting, every video game. I want Akuma to pop up in every video game somewhere. Like, that's just part of like my brain's wiring foundationally for video game culture and how you approach it. Like, there's some way, like, there's something you can do in any video game to where at the very end you fight the main boss, but if you do something cool, then you fight Akuma. Like, that's how I want Akuma to be in everything. If Akuma was in Injustice, I would lose my shit. That would be amazing.
I mean, God. I mean, if you like fighting Akuma as a secret battle after doing bullshit, then that's pretty much the Tekken 7 story mode in a nutshell.
Oh, I know. I've seen it, yeah. that's exactly... Man, that looks fucking... Tekken is so, like, crazy. You go from what we just talked about to that fight in Tekken where it's just like, there's Devil Jin. He's playing Injustice over there. He is flying and shooting lasers. And there's Akuma who's also having to play Injustice. It's like, man, cool. So like the final battle is actually Injustice. That's cool.
Yeah, it's I actually give it kind of like a 90-degree thumbs up for the story mode, even though I thought it was pretty shitty overall. It did some things I really liked. So I'm not even going to dog on the story mode too much. But
No. I would not dog on the story mode. I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it for, like, you know, what it is. It is just, you know, the Mishima story, basically. The soap opera goes ever on, and that's fine. That's enough for me.
But for the first time, I feel like there was a healthy variation in the Mishima saga, which we haven't had ever, maybe? Like, there hasn't really been anything substantial since Hayachi fucking threw Kazuya off the fucking cliff. So now you finally got something that was as good as that. So,
was the substantial new part the ending of it? Or the conclusion of those two?
No, I mean, you could argue it was. You could argue that was the new substance, but to me, I feel like they did some thematic shit that was really interesting. I'll just say this. I like the development of Hayachi in this game a lot. We really get a little kind of a walking toward his mindset and how he sort of what his mindset is on the story itself. So I like Hayachi a lot more after playing this game.
I agree. That's definitely something I thought. I always thought Hayachi and the whole thing overall just always end up feeling super like cartoony and whatnot, and not like a lot of whatever. But but in this game there was some interesting stuff with Hayachi that I was like, oh, okay, like he's still a dickbag, but you know.
But you know why he's a dickbag now? Like now his dickbagness makes sense.
Yeah, there was actually a couple of things in his background somewhere where he was still a total dickbag while he was doing it, but he wasn't the only dickbag. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
he comes from a long line of dickbags and just running into other dickbags.
Yeah, well, I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't played it yet, but there was one scene, and if you really don't want any spoilers, then just take your headset off for the next 30 seconds. But seconds. I don't know. Anyway, but I really love that scene where fucking Akuma's trying to break into Kazuya's tower, and all his guards are surrounding Akuma, and fucking Kazuya just picks up the phone and says, "Everyone back down. You're not going to beat him. Just show him up to the roof." I'm like, that's fucking good shit. That is good writing. Oh man,
it is. It's not the anime thing you expect. It's like, okay, so we're not gonna kill all these guys. That's cool. Well, you spend so much time in the story mode just wrecking waves of goons that it's like, when it comes to that, it's like, okay, that's nice.
It was unbelievably refreshing. There's a lot of little things like that. Like, me and Razor disagree, but I like Lars quite a bit. One day I may ask Razor. We've talked about it off show, but maybe I'll bring that up on the show one day so we can get Razor's take on that. But I do like Lars a lot. I think he's my closest thing to a favorite Mishima, but spoiler alert, he's a Mishima. Anyway, so that's my Tekken review. I like the game a lot. I'm not playing it more than Injustice because I like it better than Injustice. I'm playing it more than Injustice because I don't need other people to play it. I can just turn on Tekken. I can work my bread and butters. I can play the PC and get my spacing down. I can pick up I can try new chain combos and setups. I pretty much gelled with Injustice. I don't really need to do that shit anymore. I pretty much just play sets in Injustice. I got my 5 characters. I rotate. And honestly, no one's been available to play for over a week now. I haven't even touched Injustice for over a week until tonight when Red Hood came out. So
it's a thing. But tonight, Red Hood's. What day is this? Is this Wednesday?
I think.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Officially came out yesterday.
Okay.
But I didn't even bother till tonight, honestly, because I wasn't really done. I wasn't able to do matches yesterday, so. The
first time I ran into him was late Monday night. I was like, you know what? I'm just going online. I'm going to jump right in here because I know that people's going to be playing this character. They have access to him. And they were, and I did, and it was a thing. Woo. Day 1 Red Hood, everybody. If you haven't, this is a good time for me to point out. There is a video on the channel called Warrior Short. It's not this. Me and Tim don't do this. This is long and in-depth and educational. This is you can put this on your education background. That's what this is. That over there is just dumb, random me fighting someone online that I thought was chuckle-worthy. And I do commentary. So, if you're ever looking for short content on our channel, keep looking. And sometimes something might pop up like that thing. It's not pants. It sounds like pants. I know, warrior shorts. It's not a pants. It's just an online fight. Teabagging, that's what I'm looking for on that thing. Because that's what I really like about fighting games. That's like the whole deal. I love just jumping online and getting surprised or unfortunately not surprised by what I find and the kind of thing that's going on online. I get super salty and butthurt about it a lot, but it's still what I like. I like just a random whatever, and that's what's going on over there. I like fucking, honorable disconnects. I love all that shit. It's like its own deal. So that's what's going on over there. Anyway, let's jump back over here. You want to talk about Red Hood?
A little bit. I'm not going to say too much. I actually did a full breakdown of the character last week before we did the Nethercast. And I didn't want to say too much on the show because I knew a lot of it could change, but my conclusions are mostly the same. He didn't change a whole lot between now and then. The biggest difference is some of his damage properties are different. But I think he's very good. I know you're a big proponent of his zoning, and I mostly agree. I don't think his zoning is like super good, but I think it's too good considering the type of character he is. Because a lot of his zoning tools double as footsie tools. So yeah, he's pretty good. But I'll let you take over from there.
Well, no, I don't have that much to say because I'm not an expert. I haven't grinded out with Red Hood, and Red Hood has. He's a character that you can play him how you want to play him, and he'll be very different depending on how you want to play him. But like I said, I prefer, like, my favorite thing is one of my favorite things is just going into ranked and all that shit, and all the annoying things you're going to run into as far as that goes, and the annoying problems about this game that are already present, Red Hood takes advantage of, and he might even push them a little further, if those players want him to. He has lots of projectile options, lots of them. I do like that his trait shot is, like, surprisingly slow. Like, you can, like, it's funny that the shuriken feels faster than the gunshot, but whatever, I'm not complaining, it's fine. He just has so many projectile options, and and coupled with that thing like he has where he can roll away or towards a bunch. I've seen lots of people online just, trait shot, shurikens, roll backwards, trait shot, full screen, okay, start shooting again. And that's the player. And people can play that way. That doesn't mean that's what the character's about. But it's also, like, it's really good at runaway. And runaway isn't zoning. Zoning is... I feel like the definition for zoning has been stretched a lot over the past...
I definitely agree with that. It's become way too broad, in my opinion. Yeah, the zoning isn't necessarily... It doesn't have to be like runaway and that sort of thing. There's other things going on here that they probably shouldn't go under the same umbrella, but he's just really good at the runaway game, if the player wants to be. And a lot of times it helps. In this game especially, because, we've talked about it. I don't want to sound like a broken record. The character distance, the max character distance is so huge in this game. The peculiar meter system is what it is in this game, where, like, it encourages you to throw projectiles because you build meter that way really well. If you block projectiles, the attacker gets a good amount of damage, a healthy amount of damage. Red Hood just dropping a mine gives him some good meter. And the meter system is a whole different discussion with me, but coupled with Red Hood's tools, it's encouraging the part of the game that I think is that needs the most adjustment, if there is adjustment to be made. I'm loving Injustice. I'm still digging it a lot, but there are a couple, like 2 or 3 big issues that are bugging me. And that's one of them. How the whole systemic thing is encouraging full screen shoot fests. And that's not fun. That's not fun for anybody, I don't think. I mean, no. I'm sure it's fun to some people. It's not fun to watch. It's not fun to play to a lot of people. Maybe most people. But that's just me. Red Hood has great tools if you want to, go in, if that's what you're wanting to do. He's got those options, but he's got options to do whatever he wants, to any character he wants. I don't think there's anyone in the cast that can really shut him down super well. Aquaman probably is troublesome, but who isn't Aquaman troublesome too? Like, Aquaman's super good. Yeah, but, definitely. And Black Adam too. I'll throw him on that.
And Black Adam, it's true. But yeah, I think that's my opinions about Red Hood as they are right now. He's still early, and there's still plenty of room for whatever, but as soon as I saw that trailer and saw the tools he had, like, I was like, okay, on paper, this guy seems like he could be a really good zoner. If he could be a really good runaway shoot character if he wants to be. And that's how he is. That's how it worked out. Yeah, that's the way I'm seeing it. And that's what I've ran into a lot online too. That may not be the case with everybody. Temp, do you have any other perspectives on that?
Yeah, he's very flexible, and I think he's going to be very strong. I don't think he'll be top 5, but I think he's a really, really good character. You beat me to it with the meter building. 7 trait shots, that's a bar. 7 Gotham stars is a bar. The zoning, I think without the meter building, the zoning wouldn't be such a big deal. But, he gets a lot for, like, if you I don't know. There's a lot I could say because, like I said, his zoning tools double as other tools in the mid range. So if that trait shot, I think it has a lot of recovery, but the startup's not too bad. The startup's like 11 frames. I mean, just for comparison, Cyrax's net in MKX or MK9 was 18 frames. So that's pretty good. It
is the actual bullet though is really slow.
You're right. No, because once you actually shoot the person, it takes like a good second for the bullet to hit them.
I remember being surprised by that like every time. I was like, wow, I can totally do something about it whenever I see him do it.
Well, I actually got the game. So at full screen, yes, it takes there's like a good 30. Maybe not that many. I'd say like 20 frames for it to get from full screen to Superman. But on mid-range, it's like almost instant. So, yeah, it just depends where you're at. It's one of those where the tool is decent for zoning, but it also, I think it works pretty good mid-range. It's not safe, but you make it safe with your distance. So,
no, I agree. Like, yeah, that seems like a tool that, like, that's for not full screen usage because of the slowness and all that stuff. Like, you want to throw it in as like a mix-up option when you're closer. I know people are doing it. I just haven't seen that many people utilizing it, and it's early. I'm not judging the character based on the bullshit that I run into online, because people's gonna find bullshit. That's what you do online. I get it. It's fun.
I do think it's good though. FYI, I think it is here to stay. It's not, unless they nerf it, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and no, his trait shot isn't a problem for me. Like, I think that's fine. I get a little salty about stuff like him having the up shurikens and the down gunshots, along with, the regular shurikens and the trait shot and the jump away meter burned shots. Like, it's just a lot of projectile options in a lot of different situations, where there are some characters that it's like, I don't know, what's the answer for it for those characters? They really don't have one, especially coupled with the meter thing. And the meter thing is the biggest part of the problem, because the meter thing, it would be different if there were defensive options for gaining meter the same way there are with those things, but there's not. So it creates a weird cycle that, again, encourages that sort of gameplay, and that's why you do it. It's the most advantageous. I really want to see some meter system changes, though, for the people that are playing defensively. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the meter is the only thing that's really tipping the character over the edge for me. I think if we brought that meter building down a bit, then, because the problem is if he zones and plays keep away, by the time you fucking hit him, like, he has, all the tools to get out of your combo, so it gets frustrating. Yeah. It's like, then he can switch sides, switch corners, and just get next to him. Let's say, he doesn't want to, just roll back all day. He's got a really good back three, so you meter burn that. You can, eat 30% of damage. Let's say
he's got good strings, too, like,
yes,
actual combo stuff. So it's just a lot. This guy has the tools for everything.
Yeah, and even his like fucking taser trait is not bad in my opinion. Yeah, it just has a lot of good stuff. I mean, he has a fucking like, I don't know what the startup frames is. I can find out right now, but he has a fucking mid-range, low starting pussy tool that goes into relatively decent damage. Let me see, and it's cancelable. So just canceling that into EX stars, which, oh my gosh, I'll go into EX stars in a minute, but that's a
EX stars is crazy.
Yeah, it's a damn good tool.
Oh god.
Just download EX stars is going to get you out of any bad situation. It's -7, so.
Who thought about EX stars? Like, who came up with it? And it's like, this character, he needs it. Fucking, this dude needs it. He needs it. He needs it. It's crazy.
I don't know. It's hard to read those cats sometimes, but his footsie low, it's 15 startup, but that's common. Like, a lot of Green Lantern's best chains start up at 15, and it's -5, which is super safe. His 223, that's -7, also a very good string, ends in low, is cancelable into a lot of different shit.
Listen to all this educational data you guys are getting, man. We should be charging you guys for this.
His Ford 231, also very good. Overhead into low, and I think the first two hits are cancelable. I don't think the final hit is cancelable. So yeah. So I mean, that's fucking -6. So that's also really safe. So just a lot of good tools at footsie range, and a lot of good tools at far range, and a lot of good tools in the air, and a lot of good tools on pressure. Because I haven't even gotten into his trait yet, but he has a lot of great tools on pressure. But if you throw all that shit out the window, he doesn't have great tools though. Yeah, he's just a very, very solid character overall, in my opinion. I don't know if anyone's going to want to put in the time though. I still don't think. I wonder if he's going to fall into that weird crevice where he's so much stronger than the mid tier, but the top 5 are so easy to use that people are just going to be like, why would I leave Black Adam? Why would I leave Aquaman? Why would I leave Batman? So I think he may fall into that unfortunate crack, but hey, that's cool for the Red Hood fans, you know. They get to keep him to themselves, but we'll see if that actually happens. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case, but
I really do like their thing about him not being available for tournaments for 30 days. That's
yeah, definitely. That's
a good idea. I don't think I don't think anything I'm not expecting anything to change about him in that time, but it's just good to have that buffer for, you know, competitive reasons in general. And I want to say again, all of those problems I have with Red Hood and a lot of the other things about this game, I do think would go away with an adjustment to the meter system. I think the meter system is the actual problem with a lot of this stuff. I really hope that gets looked at. I'm not one to call for nerf this guy, buff this guy, this game's broken, this character's garbage. I'm not Tom Brady, but just changing the way that the meter gain system works in this game would do crazy things. It would do crazy things. Good crazy, not bad crazy. There's plenty of bad crazy in this game.
Yeah, I was very much against the meter nerf in MKX. I think I was. I want to feel real fucking silly if there's a Warrior Shrine where I'm like, thank God for this meter nerf. But I think I was against it. I know I'm against it now. In this game, I'm leaning towards yes. That could really hurt some high mid-tier characters, though. I don't know. Because, I mean, yeah.
It's one of those things. Well, no, I'm not even saying, like, take it away from the people, from the characters that already benefit from it. Just also give it to certain defensive options for that stuff. Like, don't punish players for, like, blocking well, for playing smart defensively. If you even, like, I don't know, this game is just weird. It's weird like that, and I just think there needs to be more meter buildup. Like, if you block a lot of projectiles, you build meter enough meter to, like, get a meter burn roll or something like that helps the match, like, continue in a competitive nature. Whereas, you know, just rewarding the attacker just lets them throw better projectiles and keep the other player pinned down, and it doesn't really do much for the match's competitive nature. I think, in my opinion, I think that would change a lot.
Yeah, I would say this. Maybe nerf meter on specials. Keep it the same way on chip, maybe. And keep it the same way on damage. But yeah, on specials, I mean, if you decode what I'm saying, I'm basically saying fuck zoners. If you actually decode what I'm saying, that means it's basically the meter nerf is not going to... Meter nerf, holy fuck me. The meter nerf. Gosh, the meter fucking... Gosh, the meter nerf would only, in that case, in that specific context, would only affect zoners. But I don't know, like, well, let's rewind a bit. Let's go back to the 30-day ban on Red Hood for okay. Pro Tour. God, oh man, talking so hard. But
it's okay.
He came out the 13th, and he's officially coming out a week after that. So at EVO, is this a 30-day start for the Ultimate Edition Red Hood release, or does the 30-day ban start on the official release, which is this coming Tuesday? Because there's a
That's
big difference between those two. One means he's at EVO, the other means he's not.
I always assumed it was for like 30 days from Tuesday, but I mean, it could be the other way. I don't know. I guess they haven't said specifically. I was just assuming.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if there is dirt on Red Hood, like I would, and he's not going to be at EVO, that's fine. We'll find the dirt in August. But if there's dirt on Red Hood and he will be at EVO, because let's say Tuesday the 13th was the official start of the 30 days, then I actually want to lift the ban, because if there's some broken shit, I would rather ruin CEO than ruin EVO, if that makes any sense. So I'd like to air that shit out if we can.
But I mean, that sort of implies that people are going to find the broken shit and sit on it, because they haven't said any rules they haven't said anything like as far as like we're not going to patch things, we're not going to adjust. Like they said that we're not going to do anything dramatic. I think Tyler might have said that at some point, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. So,
well, I wish they were a bit more transparent. I wish they would say, unless there's something game breaking, we are not going to patch. I wish they would say that, because that could cause someone to buy their ticket to go to Vegas. I mean, that could get someone at EVO. No one wants to buy their ticket if they find out that Blue Beetle's going to get a fucking damage nerf in, like, the first week of July. So, and I mean, if Paulo's listening to this, he may say, come on, we're not going to do that. I think it's very unlikely they would do that, but they've done it. They've launched patches, like, a week before major regionals. So, like, that's not even, like, ancient history. That's, like, some MKX shit, so...
I don't think that they're going to do that, though. Again, we're just assuming, based on just how they've been talking and handling this game so far. We haven't had any knee-jerk patches yet, right?
No, not yet.
That hasn't happened, and that's usually a thing that's happened by now, I feel. I think that's usually the case. Like, what, we're, like, a month out from when this game came out, I think?
Just barely outside a month. Like, we're right before the month mark, yeah.
I feel like there's been some patches in that window before.
Yeah, there has.
It doesn't seem to be the case now.
So far, so good. Like, Combo Breaker ended up being awesome, and no patches. CEO, I believe CEO is this weekend. I'm not 100% sure.
I think it is. I think you're right.
Okay. I'm just going to do a quick Google search, but
no, like the fact that they are saying things like Red Hood won't be available for CEO. We are going to have that 30-day. Like, they've never said anything like that before, so they're saying that they are keeping tournament schedules and whatnot in mind as far as how they're handling, how they're going about their stuff, which is good, which is a good sign.
Yeah, and I trust them. I mean, they've clearly improved in so many aspects.
And I think that's, like, something that doesn't get pointed out enough. Like, NRS will always and have always do bonehead things. It's like, what were you guys thinking? But they have shown very clearly again and again in the past few years that, hey, they're okay with fixing their bonehead mistakes. Like fucking Mr. Freeze's helmet. Like, that thing is a thing in the game now. Fucking, yeah, they do some stupid stuff, but they're willing to rectify those problems if they can, and that's good. That's like, what more can you ask for, really?
Yeah, I do have to give him props on that, and I just feel like there's a lot of goodwill from Ed Boon in general. Ed Boon, it seems very obvious he's listening every time I see him in interviews, so I think that's a huge plus. And honestly, I love Red Hood. It is kind of scary that he's this good, though, because we have a really bad reputation. We being NetherRealm Games, we have a bad reputation for having pay-to-win DLC characters. So I would really like to remedy that. I would like that to go away, but Red Hood's pretty fucking good, and Sub-Zero looks pretty good, too, so I don't know.
Well, that's a segue. Do you want to talk about some Sub-Zero?
Yes, that is a signature word to try to segue. Yes, I do want to talk about
this shit dropped today. Today. This doesn't get any more timely. Today being, this is still Wednesday. This is not Thursday yet. It's still Wednesday. And this is the first time we've seen any Sub-Zero gameplay. And boy, was there some nice surprises in this thing. I have been spamming on TYM for, I want to say like over a month since the games came out, around that area, about things that I think Sub-Zero should have and he needs in this game, in this context, because I don't think that we've even talked about it too much.
No, I haven't had much interest in it until now, honestly. I've kind of left Sub-Zero alone as a subject.
I was... Sub-Zero is like... Okay, I'm obviously way too much of a character loyalist. It's a problem. I can't really play characters outside of like my mains and maybe like one backup. That's the way I've always done things, and I don't know. I should shake it, but Sub-Zero falls into that for this game. So this game, it's going to be Robin and Sub-Zero. Red Hood, I'm not even like I'm going to keep messing with him a little bit, but I'm not going to push him. Because I'm spoiled for riches. I got Robin. I've got my dick stick now. This is a big deal. I've got my dick stick. And now I'm gonna have Sub-Zero. Like, I've got everything a fucking girl could ask for. What else? What am I gonna be doing? But Sub-Zero, since he was coming into this game, and I knew that I was gonna be playing him, like, maybe just as much as Robin, quite possibly, especially how he looks now. I was like, he can't just be brought over 1-to-1. This character needs some big things to make him viable in Injustice. Things he's never had to deal with in Mortal Kombat. Like crazy ass, max character distance, like all the zoning. Mortal Kombat X was a aggressive game. It was there's lots of rush down, lots of pressure in that game. Like, and especially like, and then you throw on the run button, and that game was just fucking crazy pressure all the time. And that was great. It was fun. And MK9 was not entirely different. I mean, it was way slower paced, but it was still not a zone fest by any stretch. There was lots of, characters being in your face. And that's Mortal Kombat's thing in general. They've never had anything close to the max character distance that Injustice has, and one understands why. But if you're bringing Sub-Zero over here, boy, he can get outzoned in Mortal Kombat pretty easily. So over here, it's like, you gotta do something crazy. Or not crazy, but you gotta do something. You can't just, sit on your laurels. So I've been posting stuff over there like, it'd be really cool if Sub-Zero would like, throw out a cold shoulder clone that just does damage instead of freezing. If he, does other things that's maybe like a little more like Glacius or something with his ice creatively. That's not, that he doesn't, it'd be cool if he does things with his ice stuff that's not defensive or setup oriented, that is just damage oriented. And boy, did we see a lot of that in that trailer. Man, yeah, it's really cool seeing some of the stuff, and I'm curious to see how much of its abilities and what's not. Boy, abilities are another thing I gotta talk about at some point. But he looks really good in this trailer. He looks really good. It looks like they were listening to all my shit posting on TYM. It's obviously the case. Obviously, you all have me to thank for no, but he looks really, really good, and I like the direction they're going with it. What'd you think?
I was actually quite surprised. He looks. I did not expect him to retain that many MKX elements, and he's very close to his MKX archetype with a lot of MK9 sprinkled in. So he looks really interesting. He's got his back 3-3. He's
Cryomaster in this game.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. He's kind of the best of both worlds. In a game with meter burn roll, I don't mind that. One thing I've really grown to dislike the clone over the years for two reasons. One, once I made Cryomancer, I basically lost 7-3 to my own character. So that sucked balls.
That's what you say whenever we fight in Mortal Kombat. That's what I hear. I don't know. I feel like we still go pretty even in those fights.
I could prove that shit in a court of law just saying, but...
Okay, I trust you.
But the second thing I don't like about it is because the Ice Clone as a tool is so good, you kind of have to neuter all his other tools. which I feel like was very much the case in MK9. He still had some cool stuff. He had a really good down 4. I thought his stagger pressure with 2-1 was really good, but just a lot of characters had jacked up hitboxes, which made it hard to consistently pressure with Sub-Zero. And you give him like this atom bomb of a tool, but if a character doesn't have to deal with that, it's such a long fucking day. And I feel like now that we have the mechanics like meter burn roll or drop out of combos, we can kind of go crazy. That's what I love about Injustice. All the characters are crazy broken, but the mechanics kind of like make it work. They kind of create little avenues for you to get out of really horrible situations, and I think that's great game design. So, do I like them? Yes. I feel like I already know how to play the character. It's basically MKX Sub-Zero with back 3 and forward 3. So
yeah, I thought the same thing watching the trailer. I was like, hey, I know that guy. I'm already kind of in there. Throw in some of those the new shit, and with the fucking gear system, like, I'm gonna be all over this dude.
No, that's actually, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's my biggest worry. Is some of the favorite things I saw in the trailer are going to be fucking abilities. I hate this problem. I hate having this shitty fucking first world problem. I just wish I knew what its abilities are not. But what's up?
No, you're right, and I felt the exact same way. The fucking what is it? Whatever it's called. I'm clearly very eloquent right now with my words. The journey I've been on with the dick stick has been look. There's no other way to put it. It's retarded. And now that I've got it, it's still a farce. It's just so stupid because it's like, okay, now you got it. Now what? Okay, I'm gonna go into player match. Well, that kind of sucks already because I like rank. That's how we do things. Things are just different in player match. Whatever. All right, fuck it. I got my stick. I'm not gonna complain. Let's go into player match. Fuck, half of these guys are like, hey, let's turn off abilities. Come on, man. Come on. Like, so now, like, half the time when I'm in there and I want to use the stick, I don't just have the dick stick. I'm the dick. I'm the dick with a stick because I'm like, no, man. Like, look over there. I've got a base stat loadout. It's just base stats. Only thing is different is I have swapped my trait. Come on, man. But they're like, bing, 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 bing. The thing's fucking switching. And like, okay, I'm a dick if I don't do it. So the ability idea, the concept of having these special moves is awesome. The execution is fucking asshole. Like, there's I can't really imagine a worse way that this could have been executed in practice. And with Sub-Zero, it's going to be the same way. Like, I really hope that low ice slide projectile he does, it's the new Cybot ice slide.
Just a heads up, that's probably going to
come on, man. That's what a character like him needs in Injustice to compete. Because everyone's got a billion projectiles in this game except for Robin. Throwing that out there. Everyone has something that they can easily outzone with anything. Yeah, give him some damaging ice projectiles. Yeah, throwing the clone is great. It is really fun, okay? But in Injustice, it was okay. It was pretty good. Here, it's not going to be anything. He's going to get fucking crushed if that's his only option up close. And yeah, he can meter burn roll, he can get closer, that's all great, but no, dude, he needs some ice damaging projectile of some sort from a distance. And that fills the gap. That fills the void great. Like, it's not broken whenever Noob Saibot does it. It's just a hit. It's not supposed to freeze them. It just hits them. So, these are my worries with Sub-Zero. Like, I hope not everything we saw there is abilities. By everything, I mean, like, the cool new things. Because some of it he needs in his base design, I feel.
Yes, I 100% agree. I think the abilities as a system is just awful in Injustice 2. It doesn't affect me, so you won't hear me talk about it very often. But if you're into abilities, the way they handled it is just shit. I love the game so much, and it's not a representation of my overall opinion of the game. But if I liked abilities, I'd be dogging this game all the fucking time.
Exact same way. I love the game. Like I said, I have my dick stick. I have Sub-Zero. I've got a Robin. I'm not going to complain. But come on, man, come on. Who was what? This doesn't even. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
No, absolutely. Well, let me talk about the stuff I don't want to be abilities. Number one is they gave him his MK Deception, like, forward charge. It looks like you can only do it after meter burn shatter, but it looks like he has it, so that could be really fucking cool. Like, I've been wanting
the cold shoulder, is that what it was?
I don't know if it was ever called the cold shoulder, and I think cold shoulder, isn't that Glacius?
No, I think it was called Cold Shoulder when Sub-Zero did it. I think. I could be wrong. Like, I mean, it's been a while since PlayStation 2. Like, yeah. It's been a minute, but I think it was called the Cold Shoulder when he did it.
But it looks really cool. I've wanted that back fucking forever.
I did too, yeah. It looks good.
Well, also, if you whiff your shatter, you can meter burn for Cold Shoulder now, so it makes it safe. You're not going to get blown up for a whiff shatter. I don't know. That's really tight to me. Another thing I liked a lot was they gave him his EX fucking ground freeze from MK9. The thing that was famous for being a broken reset. I hope that's not an ability, but if it is, I kind of understand. But I would like to see that back in some capacity.
Dr. fucking Mr. fucking Cold, that guy, whatever, that guy, he has an ice puddled thing. Is that an ability though for him? I spend so much time in player matches because of the dig stick. I don't know what's abilities and what's not.
But the range is so, and it only freezes on meter burn. It just does damage. It just damage low, a very low damage low. Poor Captain Cold. Maybe next episode we'll go over him a bit, but. But and other things I know are not abilities are just awesome. Is he has his double fisted dragon stance punch. That's his back three. That double fist punch from Deception. Oh my god!
That is okay. I didn't notice that one. That is from Deception. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, and fucking his hammer. He had the down hammer in for Cryomancer and MKX, but. It wasn't very good because if you're right, well, you don't really get that much damage. If you're wrong, you can get the shit punished out of you. Well,
the airdrop hammer, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because in the final patch, it was -2. But it still wasn't really worth it. The only thing it really did was kind of stuff cross-up, anti-cross-up stuff. And even then, it was kind of flimsy on whether that worked or not. But now it leads into a launcher, so that's fucking badass now. I can't wait to use that. If it's not an ability. If it's an ability, then it's a big fucking waste of my time and I'm never going to touch it ever. And last but not least, his Cryomancer command grab. I hope that's part of his main set because I think if that is what defines Cryomancer, the clone is what defines Grandmaster. I feel like he should have both to really represent the character, in my opinion, but that's me.
I think so too. And in the trailer, he fucking raw ass grabs Wonder Woman out of the air like MKX style with the throw. If he has that back, if he gets that back, just the way it works in MKX, that's gonna be sick. I love that shit. Being able to grab people out of the air, that's fucking sick. If he can do that, that's gonna be pretty hype. It's not gonna help me with the other stuff I was talking about whenever I get stuck full screen, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I don't think you can cancel it anymore. You can special cancel it in the final patches of MKX, which was kind of wonky. It's like. I command grab you, then I hit you with a hammer, then I command grab you, then I hit you with a hammer. Like, I don't think that shit's coming back.
Well, no, but like as long as like the idea of just doing a throw from a juggle state, that's what I'm talking about. And it looks like that's what he does in the trailer. And if he can do that, that's awesome. I'm happy. Man,
I hope so. Gosh, I know you're hype about the fucking Ice Sabat stuff, but I really like that. I love Cryo Hammer. One of my biggest,
listen, I like the hammer. Don't mistake. Like, I wish I could have the hammer in MKX. I don't need it. I get it from a balance standpoint, but I like hammers. Listen, Thor's my favorite Avenger. Give me all the hammers, and his hammer looks sick in this game. That's
interesting. I was not aware of that.
Thor is my homie in all the Avenger shit, and his hammer, the Warhammer here, the Ice Warhammer here in this game, it looks sick. It looks great.
Yeah, I really loved the Ice Hammer in MKX. I was begging for Paulo to make it like 19 frame startup. Like I was or something like that because it would have still been reactable, but it would have been a viable footsie tool. Like, I think in its non-EX version, it was like 28 frame startup. So it was only good for combos. I'm like, I have nothing in the mid-range. My best mid-range tool is fucking slide. So yeah. And people don't fucking tell me forward 4-2 was a good footsie tool. You can down 4 the shit out of that, so get the fuck out of here. But anyway,
and I was glad to see all my scrubby ass strings are still in there. Like my, what was it, like back 3-3
back 3-3 is good.
And the forward 3-3. Like all these things that I used and not much else.
And now that a billion characters don't have armor, I can actually use a lot more of his shit. Like, that's tight.
I'm happy to see all this shit for a lot of reasons. Not the least of which is that I already kind of know him. It's gonna be fun.
He's also got Crown Master's forward 1-2, and that's a chain. There's no way that's an ability. So that's what I use for almost all my bread and butters for MKX. So I'm super fucking hyped for that. There's no way that's an ability. I think I can start getting excited now for that.
Let's I want to point out that like there are people that I can imagine that would see this as like lazy because a lot of it is brought over from MKX. I disagree entirely. I don't think it's lazy. I think it's smart. It's like you're bringing over Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. You don't need to reinvent Sub-Zero. He's already Sub-Zero. You don't need to completely change the character from what he is because that's the idea of like a guest character. Especially in a fighting game. That's why it's cool to see Akuma in Tekken, just the fact that he has like the super meter and all that shit. Like he's not playing Tekken when he's over in Tekken, if that makes sense. Like he's not just playing Tekken. Same thing with Sub-Zero. Like it's not a bad thing. It's not a lazy thing that he does look so much like MKX. It's not a lazy thing. It's a good thing. And it looks like they've picked really good, smart things to pull over. And there are plenty of new stuff on top of that stuff, and that stuff has obviously been reworked in a lot of spots to make it more in keeping with the overall design of how the character is kind of geared, that's just a word, not actual gear, you know what I'm talking about.
That's a subconscious little...
Yeah. But that's my opinion. I don't think that's a lazy thing. I think that's a good thing. What do you think?
I just hate the double standard. I hate all the fucking Event Hub scrubs who are like, oh my god, recycle animations much? And yet they'll give a pass to fucking Tekken 7, which is using animations from 2004. What the hell? I don't get it. Like, it's so fucked up to me. It's like, how many times has Ryu been doing that same Dragon Punch? And we're going to shit on Sub-Zero for using a back 3 that's not even 2 years old? Get the fuck out of my house. My god.
Street Fighter characters never even change their clothes. Like, and that's not a bad thing. That's okay.
You have to pay them to change their clothes. You have to pay $5 for Ryu to have a beard and no shirt. Like, it's fucked up.
But when you do it over there, like, no, man, that's just a classic character. That's a classic... Look, man, shut the fuck up. It's the same shit. What's the... No, but, I mean, I get it. You're not going to please everybody, but... if you think that the quote recycled animations here for Sub-Zero are lazy, I mean, you're allowed to have your opinion. You're wrong, but it's good. Okay, it's good. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's you're bringing over Sub-Zero. You're not remaking Sub-Zero. He's a guest character. Bring that Mortal Kombat stuff over with him because that's what he is. That's what the character is.
I did want to say he has my favorite super in the game.
Oh, fuck. I'm so excited about having a super that I can stand to watch.
Oh, my God. I was so
Robin
scared.
Robin still has the assiest ass super in this fucking video game.
Oh, I think his is all right. His is okay. Compared to, like, Firestorm or Blue Beetle, his is all right.
Fucking Firestorm gets to go to the Nether Realm.
That's exactly what makes it so shitty. I was so scared that when Sub-Zero did super animation, he was going to fucking, like, teleport the opponent to Burbank, Alaska or some shit like that. And then finally...
Like Captain Cold does?
Yeah, like, oh my god, that is so dumb. Captain Cold can't teleport anybody. Even though I hate the
fact that... You're just going to do it with Sub-Zero, and Captain Cold's going to be in the back. He's like, hey, this is my super area. What are you doing on here? No, it's sick. He looks fucking sick when he's doing the fucking no-look air freeze.
Oh, that is so
It's
nice.
good.
And
I'm glad that that's where his...
Yeah?
I'm glad that's where his teleport is. Like, it's not really part of the gameplay. I like, if you're going to do it, I'm glad that it's in there.
He's got his classic MK2, MK3 deep freeze, where it's kind of like he's shooting like ice specks, the sleet instead of like the cohesive ice ball. Oh, that's so nostalgic. I love that shit. So that was great.
And the hammer is incorporated into the super.
It is.
Like it's the greatest hits, man. It's got but nothing is as sick as the wind pose. The wind pose is genius. I wouldn't have thought about this. I'm an idiot. He fucking rips your head off in his wind pose. He does a fatality in his wind pose, like an actual fatality. It's just in first person, so it kind of hides the fact that you're ripping off that Batman's head. Come on.
I think it's smart. I don't know if I enjoy looking at it though. I think it's very clever. But if you break it down to its barest elements, it's just Sub-Zero looking at you from an angle. I would have rather him built a snowman or some shit like that. That would have been more up my alley. But I get why people like it. And
you want to do something that alludes to fatality. Like fatalities, Mortal Kombat characters do after the match. They don't. I mean, yeah, so you can end a match without doing a fatality in Mortal Kombat, but come on, it's Mortal Kombat. It's what you're gonna do. Fatalities are a thing. Don't ignore them altogether. And it's just a really fun way to get around that. And because of that, I think Sub-Zero, when he has skin color, I think that his face looks good.
Oh, I forgot. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, his face looks so much better. So much fucking better.
So if that face wants to fucking look into my eyes while I'm dead, that's, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Fuck it, I get to do a fatality on everyone that I beat. I'm happy. It's fucking injustice, and I'm doing the spine rip. And it sounds gross. There's some gross sound effects in that wind pose.
Well, even though his wind pose looks good, even though his face looks so much better, his design is still a bit suspect. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
That's a good way to put it. I
actually feel like the feathers looked better in the DLC trailer. Even though the face looks better now, I feel like everything else looks worse, in my opinion.
There's not... I'm looking forward to seeing what the gear options are. I hope there's some shader magic or gear magic that can help things look a little less plasticky or something. It's weird, and I don't know. Yeah, I want some gear options, and I like the new mask that he's wearing in the gameplay trailer. It's got the tubes on there and shit. It's not bad. I dig it.
I'm not really a tube guy.
Well, I mean, did you didn't like the MKX mask though, did you?
I only didn't like it because it wasn't fucking blue. Giving Sub-Zero a black mask is the dumbest shit on the fucking planet. It's so dumb that they knew it was dumb and they fixed it for the cover art of MKXL. That's how dumb it was. But they never fixed it in game. I also resent the fact they didn't have a fucking scar in that model. Oh my... I know people want a fucking boy fantasy that was Bihan and that, but no, come on, just fucking give him a scar already. It's so dumb. But yeah...
What? Where?
For his primary for MKX.
His primary.
Yeah. So,
the one with the regular ninja didn't have a scar?
Exactly. Nor did he. The only blue on the mask was the fucking LED lights he installed, so... Everything else was fucking black, and that looked horrible.
Well, no, it was silver. There's a bunch of metal on that shit.
I remember it being gray in some lightings and black in others, but let's find out.
For me, it just reminded me of his the Shaolin monk's mask, which was lots of silver. Which Sub-Zero having a metal metallic that color mask, it's. I don't mind it here. I don't mind it here and there, especially in a game like this where there might be an option, even though we're talking about MKX.
Oh yeah, well the gear system does put this all in perspective for sure, but that looks black to me. It looks like matted black, but let me know what you think.
Give me this fucking picture porn of Sub-Zero. Yeah, see, to me that looks like very worn metal. But see, there you have it. People, do whatever. And
if it was true silver, I would have been a lot more forgiving. But it looks like it's the same color as his fucking zebra stripes on his hood. I don't get it. What's up?
To me it looks like the exact same material as his arm shits like that kind of armor metal stuff. And in the loading render of his in that game also was like way more shiny. I think that initial trailer was way more shiny too, the one with him and Scorpion in the woods. But I mean, you know, it's still like it's far from blue.
What I would have done is if they were going to go with that matted mask, I would have just put the LED lights. I would put Tron lines all over the mask, you know, or at least more. So it would have been, I don't know. So it would have been more. Yeah, I guess just would have looked better. I don't have a word for it. It just looks bad to me. But I love that costume as a whole now, even though I hate the daggers because he can make his own daggers. But everything else, I love that costume. I know I just shouted on it for like 5 minutes straight, but I do like that costume.
I mean, at the end of the day, come on, man. He's still like it still looks like a cool ninja costume, and it's a fucking ninja. And I like the weird, like, super anime, what is it, like the Ryu tails of the tie thing on the back of his head?
Oh, I love the bandana, for sure.
Yeah.
What pisses me off is he actually had that in his MK9 concept art, but they didn't animate it in the game. So,
he did, but man, that game had not a great budget. That game had some struggles to overcome because that game was like half made in the interim between Midway and WB. Not that that's like, you know, I'm being an apologist. No. I saw the bandana shits in the concept art for that game too, and I was like, come on, that would have been sick. I love that shit. Fucking put the fucking Ryu bandana things on everything. Looks sick. It's like 80s shit.
Yeah, almost all my Tekken characters have a bandana because I can, so it's tough.
Oh boy, fucking, that's where it would be. That game has some anime, has a little bit of anime here and there. I don't know if you've spotted it in that game.
Oh yeah, so much.
It's a thing. Okay, was there anything else about Sub-Zero you were gonna say? I feel like there was something else I was gonna say about Sub-Zero. I don't know. I hope a lot of that stuff, I hope the majority of what we saw is not ability things, but it might be like a really good example is that down ice clone he throws. That's like a dive kick, like the dive kick ice clone. That could easily be an ability, I could imagine. The ground one, that seems like it should be not an ability to me, but we'll see. Like, but that just kind of feels like, you know, like the Batman situation. Like, he has his regular batarang on the ground, but you can do a gear move that gives him the diagonal one in the air, too. And that's what that kind of felt like in the trailer. But time will tell.
The only other thing I would add is just, I know what my votes are for abilities. I want the Cryo Grab to not be an ability. I want the Clone to not be an ability. And I'm hoping the Cool Hammer shit's not an ability either. Those are the three I'm voting for. The only gameplay thing we left out is, I believe, his Jump 3 is now his Cryo Blade, which is awesome. I think that's really cool. A lot of people wanted his neutral jump in Cryo to be the sword, so he'd have a neutral jump like Takeda. I was like one of the few dudes who was against that. I'm like, no, that's not really going to help anything, and it's just going to take the matchups he already wins and make him better. That's all it's going to do. So, but here it's fucking fantastic because everyone's broken as shit. So yeah, do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like. And that's what this character feels like at the end of the day. It feels like, you know, they made another variation in MKX for Sub-Zero. That's the, you know, the DC variation, aka the ridiculously overpowered crazy variation. That's like kitchen sink plus other like brand new shit, like the ground freeze, the EX ground freeze, and the throwing the Noob Saibot ice clones and all that shit. I hope that most of that's not abilities, and it looks like his uppercut might be the cryo uppercut too.
Yes, yeah, that is correct.
And if that's the case,
it looks like
both
it's a lot
of my characters, both of my characters have that down too. I'm happy. I'm happy. I got the sword uppercut for both of my characters. It's sick.
No, I'm excited. I didn't like that in MKX because first of all, it's better just to jab anti-air anyway. You get more damage. It really wasn't worth it to use that fucking 14 frame uppercut. It was pretty shitty, but
it worked. Like it's definitely like, I know I got caught with a ton of them. It's just why I say that it worked. Because I didn't have that shit in whatever I played, Grandmaster, and I was like, man, that thing. I wish I had that thing. But on the other hand, I noticed this with Robin, because I have it, I'm like, I lean on it too much, and I could definitely get like more damage options if I did other anti-airs.
Yeah.
But so that's a thing. That's definitely a thing with it.
Well, you also had Clone as an anti-air in MKX, so I don't know. I think Clone still might be the better of the two.
Yes.
God, but I really don't know why I think it's such a crazy bad startup. It really only affected people who jumped in, so I don't know why everyone complained about it. I'm sorry you're jumping in on my Happy Gilmore Cryoblade. Like, I'm sorry.
No, listen. Listen, that's definitely what I was doing. I'm not saying that, like, oh man, I was playing so high level, and this thing is, no, I was jumping in like a fool.
Yeah, no, those were the good days. MKX, I'm going to think fondly back on that game, or look fondly back on that game. I would never play it again, but yeah.
Like, playing Injustice makes me want to go back and play more MKX. And, you know, not the least of which is reasons, it's just like, man, fucking, it's great not to have that kind of max character distance. I miss that shit. And I still want to go back and learn, like, Cyber Sub more and all this shit. Like, MKX was fucking... I like that game a lot. And I like this game, too.
I think MKX is a very good game, and in very specific capacities, I think it's very strong. But the Achilles heel isn't going to affect everyone, but I just hated all the 50-50s. And I feel like offense was, or better yet, I feel like just pressure and offense were so shallow. I love the neutral game. I love the run button. I love the footsie game. But once you get your opponent in a block string, the game just, the IQ of the game just drops to -10. So that's the only reason why I don't want to go. I do think it's a good, I shit on it a lot, but I do think overall MKX is a good game. I give it a lot of flack, but. There
is no question. Like, yeah, they leaned on 50-50s way too hard. But where was it? It must have been Combo Breaker. Like, I watched the grand finals for both Injustice. I watched more, but just compared to the grand finals for both Injustice and MKX at Combo Breaker, MKX was more entertaining to me. Like, I hadn't seen that game in a while, and to go back in there and look at it, I'm like, this game, look at this shit. These guys are on top of each other, pushing buttons and shit. This is crazy. This looks good.
Yeah, I don't know. But not Combo Breaker, but other majors, I tried to go back and watch it, dude, and I couldn't finish a single top 8. I think there's a lot of personal pain involved in that. I don't think it's just the game, but God, it just...
That's definitely a thing. You guys were playing way more of it than I was at the end of that game's run, so that's definitely a factor.
Oh yeah, well, we were basically rotating MKX and Killer Instinct back and forth nonstop. And yeah, we were playing a ton of it. We were doing a lot, King of the Hill with Cyborg, Redman, and sometimes we get Armand in there, I think. Well, no, Armand was Street Fighter V, actually. We played Armand in Street Fighter V quite a bit before we ended up quitting that game. So, a game I also still like, by the way, but I get why people hate it, so.
Yeah, that game's had a rocky road going for it.
Oh, man, we're running out of... I wanted to actually talk a lot about Marvel,
We could not talk about everything.
We still got a little bit more time, so I guess we could briefly brush over Marvel. But before we do that, I was hoping for a big KI announcement at E3. And I guess there kind of was a big announcement. They announced a 4K patch for Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that I heard about that, but I did hear about it.
I'll believe it when I see it. But right now, I think that's a bad move. I think the graphical problems with that game are not going to go away with the resolution fix. I think the faces look jacked. No. And I think some of the just overall... Like, Eagle looks like he has fucking back problems. I don't know what...
I gotta look at Eagle more. Like, he came out and he got lost in a list of things that was going on at the same time. I need to go look at that shit some more. But I think the PC version of KI has had some pretty high resolution options for a while. So, like... it's not as much of a deal there. Maybe. I could be making this shit up, but I feel like I heard that.
I mean, maybe. I can't argue with it. I honestly have no idea, but I think they just need to rebuild the game. I think that's the only way it's going to look up to date. I think even when the game came out, the lighting was really good, but after that, it was character model to character model basis, whether it looked good or not, so...
It definitely was. Like, once Double Helix got out the thing, it was it was character to character, like how it was going to look. But that first season to me still looks pretty solid, except for, I mean, obviously, except for like classic Fulgore. Other than that, like that first season of characters looks really good, and there's plenty of characters in season 2 that look good. But there's also characters like, you know, whatever her face is that I can't remember, Dragon Girl.
Oh, Kim Woo.
Yeah, like her face is a little weird, and now and there's plenty more since then. Like, God damn it, I can't remember any of these characters' names. The fucking Viking dude.
Oh,
I know this.
Tusk.
Oh, yeah, Tusk. I know these characters. Well, my brain is dying. But
do you know the lore behind Eagle, by the way? Like,
yeah, he's a Duder Brothers, right?
Well, that's the start of it. But do you know how he got unfulgored?
No, I do not know how he got unfulgored.
Glacius bailed him out. Glacius, used his technology to fucking unrobot him, and now he's got Tron lines. It's actually kind of tight. I think it's a very sweet storyline. I think it's
good guy Glacius. I mean, that makes sense. Why I could have guessed that. That's perfect. Good guy Glacius saves the day again.
He's very upstanding. Yeah, it's tight. So
he is. Like, what doesn't that guy do that's just like, you know, slow clap. Thanks, Glacius. You make everyone here feel better.
Yeah, no, in his ending, I think, for KI-1, I think he realized that the Earth was, like, irredeemable. So he evacuated everyone on the planet and blew it up. But everyone was okay, because I guess they're all on his ship. I don't know. It was weird.
He just fucking does shit that's like, you don't even think to ask for, because you're like, nobody can do that shit. Glacius has got it. It's okay. He can solve this problem, guys. No, don't worry. Don't worry. We're in Glacius's very, very cold hands. It's going to be fine.
That's my boy.
Man, that character's sick. I still love Glacius.
I do too.
I love the new Glacius and Killer Instinct. Like, just the way he plays, the way he looks. I like all that shit. It's good.
He's growing on me. I still wish he was more offensive, but I'll probably be Glacius main until I die. I don't see that ever changing. Yeah,
and I just get a lot of shit that I'm like, why doesn't Sub-Zero have something like this? There's just a lot of cool shit with his moveset that I like. I still like, the full screen doubles and all that shit. And I like the gameplay of having the Shatter Hail out whenever you can. It's all good. It's all good. Glacius was what got me ready for all these other fucking video games. Glacius, playing Robin reminds me a lot of playing Glacius, actually. Because you just have to, like, you have to have, like, fucking cookies in the oven with Robin. Like the fucking hail that Glacius has to have. If you don't have that battering out, in your non-geared state, if you don't have the thing on the ground, then you're messing up. If you don't have, his one projectile that he does have, the thing out as an assist, or if you're not using it as an assist, as you're running in and doing stuff and mixing people up, you're not doing it right. You gotta have like I said, you gotta have cookies in the oven with that character. And Glacius, I felt the same way, and it was fun. Tangents.
No, your two characters complement each other very well, in my opinion. It won't be anytime soon, but it would be cool if we could all do KI again, but man, like, there's just no fucking time. There's no budget. I would love to play your Con Ra again, though. I would love that.
Oh, that Con Ra, man. I miss that dude, too. That's a good game, man. That's another one of those games. I feel the same way I do me in KX. Like, damn it, there's just a good game sitting on the shelf right now that I really want to play. It's a good time to be a fighting game fan. That's all you can say.
Yeah, well,
there's so many games.
And we'll see what the future brings. I'm still hoping. I don't want more characters in an already congested, crazy matchup game, but
in Killer Instinct?
Yeah, it's not so bad.
No. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree. That game does not need more characters. Sorry, but I'm just want to. I'm there with you.
I feel like they fucked Eagle, because Eagle would have been so hype if he was a starting roster character in KI4, but they fucked it up. So
that is a great point. I didn't even think about that, but that would have been ideal. It doesn't seem like Microsoft wants to put the budget up for that just yet, though, like a fresh start. But that's what it seems to me like. That's what most people want. Like, I mean, that game was and is really good, but you can't just keep building on top of the same thing, because then it becomes just more of a Jenga tower. There's already so much fucking going on in this game that it's impossible to kind of innovate too much, because you have to re-innovate the whole cast, and they've done that a lot in that game. It's just really... that game is it's just been very interesting to watch because it's a brand new model for mainstream fighting games. The whole, you know, releasing characters intermittently and building a platform for a fighting game, which I love all of those things. But we've gotten to see like the end of that model. I feel like there's only so far you can push it to where you do have to start over, and I would love to see it. I would be so hyped for a new Killer Instinct.
Yeah, well, I mean, the current model, just even if it worked, like I said, I feel like the graphics are aging really badly. I feel like the matchups getting too congested. But even if none of that was true, no one's playing it anymore. There's no, outside of KI Cup and maybe like Combo Breaker, there's not really a competitive scene for KI anymore. It's kind of dying. It's still there's still that spark. There's still the regulars. There's like, you know, Base, of course, and then there's Sleep and, you know, Nikki and all those cats, but it just no one's
and it's still
fucking
a fun
playing the
game like to play. You still pick it up, and it's always there if you're on Xbox or PC now because it's crossplay.
Yeah.
Like it's a fun game to play. It feels good. It's all that stuff, but there is the problem with just you can't add more on top of it. I feel like I was floored by fucking Eagle. Like I couldn't believe they were putting another character on top of that thing. I'm not against it, but it's like you guys got to pump the brakes, man. I don't know that game.
Yeah, it's like putting a cherry on top of like 4 other cherries on top of a sundae. It's kind of it's over. Like I don't know. It's like an end credits scene for a movie that came out fucking last year. It's so like it's done. There's nothing else to do with that game, you know?
It is. It's like 8 stingers at the end of a Marvel movie cut throughout the credits. It's like, all right, like which one of these? Okay, it's cool. Like for 1, it's kind of okay. For 2, maybe. But come on, man. Let's just fucking watch like the next Avengers movie. Let's just do it. It's cool.
It's not in theaters. It's not on Blu-ray. It's not even on fucking like TNT edition. It's like fucking like late night FX now. It's not even fucking like it's done. It's over. Like no one gives a shit anymore. Make a new KI. Update it. I know you want to do it, Keats.
Oh hell yeah! Like yeah, Iron Galaxy would. I'm sure they'd be all over that shit. But I mean, like they're not the ones who's like. They are the ones that's like give us the budget. Microsoft's like, well, I don't know, we got some other shit coming up, we'll see, maybe do Eagle, we'll think about it. That's exactly how Microsoft sounds.
No, I bet. I'm confident indeed.
What's that guy? Who's that guy? Phil Spencer, is that his name?
Yeah,
the dude who did the awesome fucking presentation at E3. Just that dude. He looks like a bro. He looks like a bro.
Any of it.
That guy, like, he has the best bro stance I've ever seen in my life. He's got like he's got his legs spread. He's got his thumbs in his pockets. He's got like the leather jacket when it's super hot. He's just arms apart. Like, the dude's stance is just great. Dudes, we got fucking video games. Let's get hype. Here's a Porsche. Like, okay, cool. I guess. I mean, whatever. It's for video games, but I mean. Cool Porsches, I guess.
Yeah,
that was that was a fun conference. It wasn't bad.
I'll check. Man, I want to talk about Xbox as well, but I don't know if there's time. I'm actually considering Xbox One X just because.
Oh, I was wondering what the fuck you were talking about.
I call it Xbox.
I forgot the name. Yeah, I've been calling it.
Xbox X, I think, is what's common.
Xbox Xbox maybe, like there's lots of people that's like, really, that's what you're gonna call it, really? All right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the gimmick is that if you do the acronym, it's Xbox. The acronym for Xbox One X is Xbox. Fucking again. It just seems like a bro was sitting around and he's like, dudes, guys, I got it. Fucking brain melted. What do we call it? Xbox One X. And everybody in the room is just like, hell yeah, let's fucking whatever. Give me my check. Let's get out of here. But no, it's like, yeah, it looks cool though. Like, it looks cool. It sounds like some cool ideas. I like what I'm hearing. The name is weird, but that's what this console has always been about with Xbox One. So like,
It just throw that on top. It's crazy that thing's fucking smaller than an Xbox Slim or whatever.
That's actually one of the main reasons why I want to get it, is because my Xbox is such a fucking eyesore.
It's crazy.
But I need a 4K Blu-ray player, so I'm in the market.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I don't think the PlayStation comes out of the box with that shit.
No, you can only stream 4K. You can't play 4K DVD or Blu-rays.
But I mean, I think the Xbox Slim can do that already, so like that's not...
No, that is true.
That's not a new thing, but I like the shit that I heard. The super sampling sounds good. I loved seeing... I'm not going to play it. I loved seeing Forza 60 frames per second, native 4K. I didn't think that was going to be a thing for any time super quick. But the Xbox Onyx can push 60 frames per second solid, native 4K. Whoa.
And Forza's good shit. Forza's fun. Like, I only bought it once, but I had a blast with it.
Yeah, no. I'm not bagging on Forza. Just.
Oh yeah.
But if Forza can do that, can do a solid 60 frames at native 4K, a fighting game can definitely do it. And that makes me happy. It makes me happy because fucking no one else over at Sony ever mentioned fucking frame rate with the PlayStation whatever, the Pro. They like it was all resolution all day long, and that's cool. But I care way more about frame rate. We had these talks,
and I'm 100% with you too. My gosh,
like I'm not saying that more resolution is bad, even though most people don't have a 4K TV still. It's still a thing, but fucking frame rate, man. Just give me more frame rate. Give me frame rate. Why is this shit still like chugging at 30? And a lot of fucking games that are coming out.
If they had made if they had upgraded Bloodborne to 60 frames per second, I might have broken down and bought a Pro.
Dude, everyone was wanting that. That's what everyone was wanting.
And of course, it never fucking happened. Dude, the PlayStation Pro is such a giant piece of shit. I'm so pissed at Sony for other reasons that are not even Pro related. But man, does the PlayStation Pro suck.
I don't want to say that that's exactly what I said last year after their conference, but that's exactly what I said after their conference. I was like, would they put the fucking camera on those developers like, hey, tell us how the PS4 Pro has changed your approach to development? And they're like, well... we're gonna have. I think we're gonna have like an option somewhere, an option menu to do something. But I mean, fucking Sony tied their hands though up front though. It's like, no, you can't do anything, like no content, no anything really interesting. You can't do anything that you can't do on the regular PlayStation. So that you're immediately tying developers' hands. And Xbox hasn't made any rules about that necessarily. They've all they've said though is like, they're open to listening to developers' ideas if they want to do something, but that's at least much better than the other thing, because if you have an across-the-board mandate where everything you produce for the Pro has to be able to go on your other thing, then you're just tying your developers' hands. You're limiting the idea. You're rendering the whole idea slightly arbitrary. I mean, besides looking good, looking better and whatever. But yeah, it's.
I think they have said that they're not allowed to exclude pre-release games or pre-Xbox games. I think they did say that everything that works on Xbox will also work on vanilla Xbone.
They definitely made a point of saying that a bunch.
But I'm with you though. I agree. Just say for the first year, everything works on everything. After that, buy an Xbox, so you're fucking on your own. That's the way it should be. Because like I said, no one's going to use the technology. You're
taking away just a ton of potential if you do that. There's nothing wrong with them saying, and they said it a bunch of times in the conference, all these games we're showing you today will be playable across the Xbox family, from original Xbone, Xbone S, and the whatever, and the new one. But if there's a good idea, fucking don't smash it just because it has to be playable on all the other shit. Yeah, potential. You're canning it. And I don't think they will. I hope not.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I guess here's my take from it, dude. People don't want to buy a new console. They're like, no, I bought my console. I was supposed to be fucking good for this generation. Well, what I would respond to them is a generation does not have a defined time set. I think people were spoiled because the Xbox 360 had like what, a 10-year lifespan, something fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I think 5 years is reasonable. I think a console every 5 years. It's not like you're buying a new phone like every two. I get a new phone roughly every 2 years, but like, I mean, fucking $500 every 5 years. Dude, just don't buy Call of Duty 7 times. You fucking paid for that shit.
Dude, don't ask too much. Come on. Dude, that's out of dude. There's been people gotta buy the
Maybe
Call
I
of
was
Duty.
being unfair, but
People gotta buy their Call of Duties. Let's just fucking be real here, okay? And there's a Forza game every year, I'm pretty sure. Like, there's some games that we gotta get. They're just in the base budget, man. Fucking what's one coming out right now?
World War II is the newest one announced.
Yeah. It's Call of Duty World War II. They've come full circle. It's amazing.
I'm on the outside. I can't judge it too harshly because I don't play the games. I don't know what the changes are. But to me, it's just like, here's a new set of guns and stages and more dog physics. That's all Call of Duty fucking is to me. I just don't fucking...
Look at this dog fur. That was the best presentation. Like, this fucking simulated fur has never looked fucking more useless. What the fuck are you talking about right now?
And they're showing us a real dog while they tell us that, so it's not even the fucking game. Oh my god. So yeah.
So what are you doing? And what's not debatable is that, like, in the past 5, let's say, Call of Duty games, no one was more hyped for those than they were the Call of Duty remake. Everyone loved that shit, but you had to buy the other one to come with the other. Listen, if you guys like Call of Duty, that's fine. I don't buy Call of Duty, so I shouldn't be talking too much shit. But sometimes it feels like a sports game because there's a lot of them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. Like, even though I love Guilty Gear, I think Arc Systems is evil. Maybe not as evil as some corporations, but they do some shady shit. And they're making the new Dragon Ball game, which we don't have time to talk about now, but I'm crazy excited about that game. Oh my god, am I freaking out about that game. That game looks so good. But Arc Systems does some shady shit, but go on.
No, it's just a pretty game, I agree.
And Marvel, we'll probably tear into it more on the Nethercast and then later on the next Warrior Shrine. But real quick, are you buying that day one?
Marvel, not yet. No, they gotta do something else. I think the gameplay looks really good. Yes, everything else looks budget. It looks very budget, and probably because it is. People were surprised and Joe that game even could exist. People were like, "Huh?" And I don't blame them. I thought the same thing, but you can see the budget in there. But if the part that looks good is during the fights, the part you're watching, the part you're playing, if that's the only thing in the game that looks good, that's all that matters to me. If that looks good, everything else can get fucked, because that's what matters in a fighting game. And it looks good. I like what I've seen of the trailer, the gameplay trailer, not the story trailer. Fuck that. I don't know why they showed that at the big conference. That was retarded.
I absolutely agree.
Why you have this other trailer that looks fucking pretty cool, and you're gonna show that whatever. But I have no idea what the fuck I was saying. Oh, but it looks good in game. Whatever. The story demo that they put out. I've watched several people play that through streams and whatnot, and that game looks fun in the gameplay, and it looks good in gameplay. The backgrounds look fun while you're playing it. So as long as that stuff stays and maybe gets polished up even just a little bit, like it looks good right now. It looks good. It looks like Marvel. It fucking looks like Marvel.
Yeah, I think it looks really good in the gameplay. It's just the story mode looks like shit, and even in the gameplay, I do think like Thanos' face looks fucked up. There's definitely graphical issues, and it's people are like, "How did this happen?" I'm like, I fucking know how this happened. They outsourced someone to do all the model rendering, and they just didn't communicate with them properly. Now everything looks like shit. That's exactly what happened. So it's a shame, but. Yeah, I don't care about that. Like, if it looks bad when Strider and Gamora are disarming a bomb or doing the laundry, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't.
No, who cares?
Yeah. So.
But no. Like Thanos' actual like move animations, I thought looked very cool. I was kind of surprised that he doesn't look clunky whenever he's doing attacks and whatnot. No, he looks like a Marvel character. Like he looks like it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Thanos Zero is an awesome combination. I'm glad they thought of that, but
It's kind of OP.
It's super tough. Oh god, I cannot wait day one to play Mega Man X Zero on my team with a Zero and anchored fucking Mega Man on point. Holy shit, that's gonna be like old school, like Super Nintendo Mega Man X3 for me. But yeah,
that's sick. Fucking X and Zero is, it's really good because like there's a lot of things that people are disappointed about, but they have a lot of stuff like that that's also giving them a lot of goodwill, so it kind of balances it out. Fucking X and Zero in the game, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, it's just for me it's a dream come true. So I'm kind of sad that people are damp on the game, but they should be because that's how games get better. But man, I'm still really excited for the game. I cannot wait to buy it. Fucked up Chun-Li and all. I can't wait.
Fucked up Chun-Li, weird DLC shit.
Yeah, on disc DLC, I believe. I believe the DLC is confirmed on disc. So I could be wrong, but I believe that is the case.
It seems to be the case. Like that's what it seems like. But then again, like I want to play a Sigma, and you can do that. You can play a straight up Sigma. He's a character. You can play, and I want to play as Black Adam. And if Venom or any X-Men character comes out, Panther. Did I say Black Adam?
You might have said Adam.
I definitely said Adam. See, boy,
it's late.
And Injustice, man, it's saturated everything. Yes, Black Panther. He looks pretty cool. In some places, but fucking Sigma. You can play X, Zero, and Sigma in this video game. Straight up regular Sigma. It's cool.
Yeah, Sigma's model needs out of all. They used the Mega Man X1 model, and they could have used any Sigma they wanted. So I thought that was kind of a strange choice, but
they might have like a skin option for him because you've seen the Mega Man X skin.
I have,
the command mission one, which looks cool. I dig it.
That's like the one Mega Man X game I didn't play, but yeah, it looks good. I agree.
Oh, I didn't play it either. I didn't play it at all, but it's a cool looking costume for him.
They just put no time into Sigma's pants. Like his pants look like they're fucking like Toy Story bullshit. Like it looks so bad.
They do look hella Toy Story. It's exactly what I thought. It's like this is but like as far as just raw characters go, like. The only way they could have done better is to include the sick ass purple guy that I can never remember his name, Vile.
Yes.
Like, that's the only way that could have been better.
Vile would have been tight. I think Vile would have been pretty. I'm glad we got X and Zero, but Vile would have been absolutely sick too.
Vile would be super fucking sick. Like, I love Vile. But, I mean, I can't complain when I have X, Zero, and Sigma.
That's actually tough, to be honest with you. I don't know who I would have picked. If you said Temp, Vile or Sigma, next Marvel game, what do you want? I honestly don't know, dude. I'd probably have to think about that.
I would have said Vile. I'm not going to lie. But just because of the dearth and they've starved everyone for Mega Man anything, like, I see Sigma in a current game along with X and Zero. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Oh, my God. It's just, Capcom, you got us where you want us. Well played. GG's.
Yeah, it's, I'm glad we can say good things about it now, because I know Shadowloo especially, but probably Cyborg and Razor are going to shit all over the game come tomorrow, and that's okay. I mean, I don't really disagree with any of the problems with this game, but the gameplay does look solid.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's the big thing.
Yeah,
the gameplay looks good, and I've heard the gameplay feels good. There's lots of questionable art decisions, but if those two things end up being the case, if it feels fun to play, it feels good, and the stuff looks good during matches, I'm happy. This game's good.
Flow.
Fucking
Flow
Street Fighter 5?
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5? Like that, there was a story mode in that game. Who gives a shit? Like, I didn't give a fuck about that shit. I know a lot of people did. Sorry.
Well, the people who did give a shit hated it. They could not, like, Shadowloo hates that story mode. Oh my gosh.
I saw a couple of the character things, and it's like, I don't blame you. Stop. Come over to my side where you don't care, and it's great. It's amazing. Because then you can just look at Akuma's weird flower hair, and that's one of your bigger problems. You don't have to worry about
Well, we got
pregnant
Cyborg.
Nikali or whatever.
Fucking Cyborg Red Rovered over to the fucking gameplay side, so we just got, 2 more, bro. We're good.
It's true. I've noticed how these things have shifted. It's interesting. Keeping my eye on those fuckers.
So yeah,
eating off my plate over here. But yeah, no, that game. What were you saying? You said Flo said something about it?
Yeah, Flo played Marvel Infinite, and he said it felt really good. And I don't always agree with Flo, but generally I trust him on shit like that. He doesn't like Injustice, but most of the Capcom guys don't like Injustice.
Oh, yeah,
so that doesn't surprise me.
definitely.
So yeah, I mean, I trust him. I was a big fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 1, even though philosophically I think this game should be like 3. But Dragon Ball is going to be like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so we're good. We covered those grounds. And
Yeah.
B, I'm probably going to be better at this game because it's not like Marvel 2 or 3. So I'm not complaining too much. I just feel like there was a big gap they left open by not making this game like Marvel 3. But Dragon Ball FighterZ, we're covered. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And this game has actually attracted me more so just because of the 2v2 aspect. And in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's fine, but that was a little too much for me. It was a little too RTS-y, just and crazy, just so many fucking whatever's going on all the time. 2v2, I can probably wrap my brain around, especially from watching all the gameplay that I have. This might be, the first Marvel game that I play a lot. I play a decent amount of. And yeah, I hope it feels as good as people saying it is. What was it? Fucking Maximilian and all his fucking videos, he was talking about that shit. And, he did the fucking assist me things back in the day. So he loves Marvel everything. And if he says it feels good, and I think he did, then it probably does.
Dude,
and especially
Maximilian
hearing
puts
that
out
about
so much shit, I can't keep up with it. He's put out so many fucking videos, dude.
That's how you YouTube, I think. I think that's how that's how one gains the ability of, wow, man, what did he say? Like, Namco called up and was like, hey, we got some games for you that we haven't announced yet to play behind the scenes I think you're going to like. And it was the Dragon Ball game. You gotta, if you want to get that kind of treatment and get to play Dragon Ball for like 3 hours behind the scenes, then you gotta spam YouTube a lot. That's how you do it, man. That's the game. But
yeah, I keep coming back, so it's doing something right, so I'm digging it.
Yeah. I haven't heard people that have actually played it complain too much about the gameplay, so that's promising.
Oh my god, dude, God, there's so many fighting games. I'm gonna fucking lose my job. So yeah, God, because I'm playing competitive Tekken, competitive Injustice, and then 3 months, dude, fucking 3 months for both playing Marvel, dude. It's gonna be fucking crazy. Oh my god, it
is.
I don't know.
It's a good
dude.
problem to have.
I don't know if it is, man, because I'm actually working on my second bachelor's degree right now too, so I go back to school in July.
You're absolutely right.
I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna fucking die.
No, I do agree. I wish they were spaced out a little bit. That is actually a thing. Tekken's release has never not been a shit show.
Yeah.
But coming out, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks after Injustice is you probably could have done better for yourself if you had done something different than that. I don't want to say push it back more because you guys have already pushed it back. Jesus. But it is a lot packed into a little period of time here. Heavy hitters, man. Lots of heavy hitters.
It's a shame everything is so good because, if Tekken 7 was shit, I'd be like, oh, whatever, I'm going back to Injustice. And suddenly I have 2 more hours to myself each night. Once again, I have time to, watch Twin Peaks if I want to watch Twin Peaks. Now I'm either playing Tekken and I'm listening to podcasts about Injustice while I'm listening to, Era's comment about E3 footage and I'm just practicing Tekken nonstop, just kind of trying to catch up on all these fucking podcasts.
Chill out. I gotta shower sometime, man.
Dude, man, I gotta fucking use the Irish Springs every once in a while, man. But
it's a thing. Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
Nah, I actually got a jet here, man. So I'm gonna have to call it quits. But I think we covered everything anyway. I mean, I would like to talk more about some stuff, but I think we covered all grounds.
Oh, definitely. One thing before we wrap up.
Sure.
This is nothing more than a public service announcement.
Tell us what zoning is supposed to be. Define it for us in this new Temp Talk segment.
Oh,
that's so good. This is the best. But what is zoning supposed to be, Tim? Tell us what zoning is technically.
Zoning is basically doing damage from a distance. That is the broadest possible definition of zoning. So basically, while traditional rushdown characters start their offense up close, zoners can do damage from afar. Now, we kind of have to break zoners into two categories. One is just characters with long-range spatial attacks. That's going to be your Dhalsims. That's going to be your Glacius. That's going to be like a good deal of Guilty Gear characters, actually. Your Ghost Rider in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Then you have Turtles. Turtles are like your traditional old Sagat. You know, all you want to do is throw fireballs, and when they get up close, then you want to use your tools to maybe create range again, and then start throwing more fireballs. So, not every zoner is a turtle, but every turtle is a zoner. Some people like zoning, but they don't like turtling. Like, some people, they just want to fucking throw fireballs. Early 16-bit, people were very critical of him because he won SoCal Regionals. And he did it because no one knew how to deal with Instant Air Fan. Just he bodied everyone in the winners. He won the tournament in the winners bracket with basically Instant Air Fan, and everyone blew him up. And we now know he's a super talented player, but that's a good example of a turtle, someone who wins off their projectiles. And remember, it is MK9, so an MK9 turtle is not exactly the same thing, because in MK9, if you land a fan, that can sometimes go into a combo conversion.
Oof.
So he was a turtle with crazy good bread and butter damage. So
yes.
Yeah, so zoning is just basically about like doing damage from afar, being able to do your setups from afar. It's just all about doing your game plan at a distance. There's narrow definitions and broad definitions, but I would say that is the broadest definition.
No, yeah, that sounds good to me. I always thought of zoning being like, this character wants to put you in a position on the screen that is most advantageous to them. And that can be from anything like, you know, Ryu throwing a fireball so he can DP or something like that. Like, that starts to bleed into footsies a little bit, but, you know, the two aren't mutually exclusive. Zoning isn't just about running away and shooting fireballs, though. Shooting anything. It's not about... it's not about... this thing that Injustice has created that I like to call full-screen footsies.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really what what zoning has been to me, at least in my own headcanon throughout my fighting game career. But it can be that, I suppose, if you really want it to be.
Yeah, both the strong zoners in Injustice, Deadshot and Red Hood, both have very strong mid-range, like low options. Like that's, like they both have really good low attacks. I think that's the weirdest thing on Earth, but it's real. So.
And you could kind of call Sub-Zero that a lot of the time with his clone, but I've never wanted to use the clone to keep people full screen though, because with Sub-Zero, like, trades can go well for him, but none of his projectiles historically do damage, so it's like that's not really where I can get the most out of, you know, the stuff. I kind of want to keep them mid-range-ish and in the area where an ice clone could actually freeze them, not in an area where it's like, stay the fuck away with me or you'll touch this thing. That's not really, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's hard to categorize Sub-Zero at least Grandmaster Sub-Zero. I guess I would best describe him as what Unbreakable was supposed to be, which was a true defensive character. Basically, he's not really a zoner. He wants you to try to get in and then fail. While a zoner wants to just keep you out in general, or at least a turtle wants to keep you out in general, and just eat fireballs for 99 seconds. That's more that thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, Sub-Zero, like, I want to get you to do things that's going to give me damage. And I'm not going to get to do a lot of damage if you're full screen. Even if I freeze you, like, especially like an MK9 or something, I don't have to get over there fast before you unfreeze. Like, that's not what I want. I want you to get frozen when you're somewhat close to me. Which is how I like to use the thing, the clone and whatever. But, again, as Injustice has taught us, zoning is a broad term that can mean all manner of spamming. Broad
and very available to most characters, so it's
very available if you don't play Robin. Boy, man, Robin.
Oh, Robin.
Listen, I talk a lot of shit about zoning. Keep it all in mind. I'm okay with being honest. A lot of it comes from me being salty from playing Robin, because he's got one great projectile, the Birderang, that is only good if it gets to come out. And it's very slow to start up, because if you hit him before it loops around, it goes away. So everyone else in the game eats his shit for breakfast at any sort of good distance. whatever.
Yeah, I think Deadshot's going to maul Robin in the long run, but we'll see.
And they gave Robin those two, like, moves where the swoop, the dive kick, where you do it from the ground, and the jump up, like, sword spin. Like, I feel like those moves are supposed to be there to kind of get around that stuff, but they're super telegraphable. It's ridiculous, and nah. But, you know what? That's, we did what we wanted to do. That was zoning. You guys tell us in the comments what you think zoning is, because like we said, it's everything for everyone. Ah, boy. Is there anything else you wanted to cover, Temp?
No, that covers about everything.
Yeah. Guys, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time. Laters.
Peace.